The musket was an invaluable tool of American hunters, frontiersmen, and soldiers. To fire a musket, the operator would measure out black powder and pour it down the barrel. Then they would set a piece of cloth on top of the barrel and insert a lead ball with a ramrod. The final step was to prime the gun by adding a small amount of powder to the pan. To direct the powder into the narrow barrel of a musket, a funnel-shaped container was needed. It was also critical that the black powder stayed dry. If the powder was even slightly damp, the gun would not fire. Because of this, the container needed to be airtight. Powder was also extremely flammable. Even the tiniest spark could ignite it, so it wouldn't have been safe to store powder in a metal container that could potentially create a spark. A readily available material met all three of these criteria. The cow horn was a portable container that could direct a small stream of powder, keep it dry, and not cause sparks. A cow horn adapted for this purpose became known as a powder horn. Powder horns were mostly used by frontiersmen and some soldiers during the Revolutionary War and the French and Indian War. Most professional soldiers of the time used pre-made cartridges to load their guns, but the frontiersmen and Minutemen of these two wars often used powder, which they carried in a powder horn. I wanted to learn more about this iconic piece of American history, and what better way to learn than with your hands? I decided to restore my great-grandpa's powder horn. It hung over the fireplace at my grandma's cabin for as long as she could remember. About 10 years ago, she gifted it to me because of my interest in history. To start the restoration of a powder horn, I cut out a wooden cap. I then put the horn in hot oil and pressed the cap into place, securing it with 4 small nails. I was extra careful when fitting the cap onto the horn, as one small gap could let moisture in, rendering the powder useless. I bent and filed 2 nails to create the attachments for the leather strap. I then took thread and fastened the metal loop to the front of the horn. I cut out and sewed on a strip of leather for the shoulder strap. Finally, I whittled a stopper to fit on the nozzle of the powder horn. After finishing this project, I am even more impressed with the resourcefulness of the early Americans. They turned an animal waste product into an invaluable tool.